With the new threat from North Korea or the US making headlines almost on a daily basis, it is important to remember, technically North Korea is still at war with the US and South Korea. The 1950s Korean War resulted in a ceasefire in 1953. However, no formal peace treaty was ever signed. North Korea has announced that they were scrapping this ceasefire agreement and may resume hostilities at least 7 times. Twice during Clinton's presidency, twice during Bush, twice during Obama, and 1 time so far under the Trump presidency. In the most recent news, the US flew several aircraft, including a few B-1B bombers, just off the east coast of North Korea. North Korea responded by threatening to shoot them down. How valid is this threat? Does North Korea really have the ability to shoot down these planes? North Korea has one of the largest air defense networks of any country in the world. They have at least 60 fixed surface-to-air missile sites visible in satellite imagery, along with an estimated 50 to 150 mobile launch platforms. Their arsenal consists mostly of old Soviet systems that are at least a half-century old, like the SA-2, SA-3, and the SA-5. While these weapons are old, they still pose a threat. For example, the SA-3 was responsible for shooting down the F-117 stealth bomber in 1999, and it was also used to shoot down an American Predator drone in 2015. The SA-5 is an extremely large missile with a massive range. The SA-5 operational near Wonsan alone can cover nearly all of North Korea and half of South Korea. This system will be best against large aircraft with low maneuverability like tankers and bombers. These systems again though are very old, and the US has a lot of experience in defeating them. During the Vietnam War, these missiles became a major problem for US pilots. The Americans eventually installed ECM or electronic countermeasure packages onto their B-52 bombers to jam the radar guiding the missile. This greatly reduced the number of aircraft lost to surface-to-air missile attacks. Each missile system has its own unique weaknesses. For example, it was reported that the original SA-8 could be defeated simply by pointing the aircraft's nose at the ground while flying at low altitude. The SA-8's radar would then calculate an impact point ahead of it and run into the ground. The US has collected these vulnerabilities and developed methods for evasion for each system. This, however, does not guarantee a successful evasion every time. The big wildcard in North Korea's ability to shoot down a US aircraft is the new KN-06. The KN-06 is a modern, North Korean-built surface-to-air missile system. It resembles the Russian S-300. The system appears to be a major leap in technology for North Korea. It is therefore believed to be built with the help of either Russia or China. Not much is known about the system, but from the size of the missile, it likely has a range from 50 to 100 miles. The missiles sit on the back of Russian-made trucks. It is unknown exactly how many are operational, but based on the number of these trucks that Russia reportedly sold to North Korea, they could have as many as 150 of these launchers. Depending on the effectiveness of this system, it could really prove to be a formidable threat to US aircraft. The US's bag of tricks utilized on older surface-to-air missile systems will most likely not be as effective against this newer, more advanced weapon. The other option North Korea has to shoot down US aircraft would be to utilize their own aircraft. North Korea has over 1,000 aircraft, most of which are extremely outdated and a good portion in very poor condition or completely inoperable. The only exception is the MiG-29. North Korea is known to have 40 MiG-29s, however less than half are likely operational. A US bomber like the B-1B would undoubtedly be escorted by fighter aircraft. The bombers that flew off the coast of North Korea recently were accompanied by F-15s. A dogfight between North Korean aircraft and US aircraft is going to be extremely one-sided. US fighter pilots can spend years training and can average over 200 flight hours a year. A North Korean pilot, by comparison, is lucky to have even 20 flight hours per year. This, coupled with the major technological advantage, makes it unlikely North Korea would win going up against US fighter jets. Therefore, the biggest threat to US aircraft is North Korea's surface-to-air missiles, specifically the KN-06. Non-stealthy, larger, less maneuverable aircraft like the B-1B would give North Korea its best chance at success. Of course, North Korea would need to detect the aircraft in order to shoot them down. Apparently, it was reported that North Korea did not even know the aircraft were there at the time. It wasn't until after the US released the flight path of the aircraft that they even knew of the event. The radars known to be operated by North Korea, like the P-37, in theory should be able to detect a large aircraft like the B-1B at a range of 150 to 200 miles. If this is true that North Korea failed to detect the unstealthy aircraft, it could possibly indicate that North Korea has even bigger problems with its equipment and military readiness. However, that would be a topic for another video.